Even as Congress leader Rahul Gandhi appeared before the Enforcement Directorate for the third consecutive day on Wednesday in the National Herald case, Congress leaders and workers continued to protest against the questioning of the Wayanad MP. Slamming the protest by the Congress, BJP leader Sudhanshu Trivedi, addressing the press, said, "The Congress is trying to hide the allegations of corruption by resorting to these protests. This reflects the small mindset of the Congress party under Sonia and Rahul Gandhi." He added, "The Congress today is a family-centric party." In a major push to digital connectivity, the Union Cabinet, chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, has approved the auction of 5G spectrum, which will be held at the end of July. As per reports, a total auction of 72,097.85 MHz of spectrum with 20 years validity will be put to auction. The 5G services are expected to be 10 times faster than the 4G services. Notably, an official statement of the government said, "Digital connectivity has been an important part of policy initiatives of the government through its flagship programs such as Digital India, Startup India, Make in India, and others." In a setback to West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, K. Chandrasekhar Rao's Telangana Rashtra Samiti, and Arvind Kejriwal's Aam Aadmi Party decided not to attend the meeting in the national capital to discuss July 18th presidential elections. The Trinamool Congress chief had sent an invite to 22 non-BJP leaders, including 8 chief ministers, for the meeting. Meanwhile, some senior Congress leaders attended the meeting. Two terrorists linked to the terror group Lashkar-e-Taiba have been killed by security forces in an encounter in Jammu and Kashmir's Shopian district. One of the neutralized terrorists, identified as Jan Mohammad Lone, was involved in the recent killing of a bank manager, Vijay Kumar, in Kulgam district, as per the Kashmir police. The other terrorist has been identified as Tufail Ganai. Incriminating materials, arms, and ammunition have been recovered from them. Post the unveiling of the Agnipath scheme for the armed forces, the Ministry of Home Affairs has announced that Agniveers who have completed 4 years under the Agnipath scheme will be given priority in the recruitment of the Central Armed Police Forces and Assam Rifles. On the other hand, Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan has also said that Agniveers will be given priority in recruitment for state police force. The Agnipath scheme was announced on June 14 to recruit soldiers, including women, for only 4 years, with the provision to retain 25% of them in the regular cadre for 15 more years after another round of screening. The Prayagraj police have put up posters of people allegedly involved in the June 10th violence on roadsides and public places to identify and arrest them. The posters will also be circulated on social media platforms. Meanwhile, IG Prayagraj Range Dr. Rakesh Kumar has said that people whose houses and vehicles suffered damages in the violence can register an FIR in police stations. Notably, more than 335 accused have been arrested across Uttar Pradesh in connection with the violence which took place after Friday prayers. Pro-Khalistani slogans were found on the walls in Jalandhar on Wednesday. The police said that they were checking the CCTV footage to find out who wrote the slogans. Meanwhile, the incident occurred even as Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann visited the city on Tuesday and flagged off deluxe buses to Indira Gandhi International Airport in New Delhi from ISBT Jalandhar. Congress leader from Maharashtra, Sheikh Hussain, has been booked for allegedly making derogatory remarks against Prime Minister Narendra Modi. An FIR has been registered against him at the Gitti Khadan police station in Nagpur. According to the complaint, Hussain had used derogatory language against the PM while addressing Congress workers during a protest held near the ED office on June 13 to express solidarity with Congress leader Rahul Gandhi. A court in Punjab's Mansa district on Wednesday granted 7-day remand of gangster Lawrence Bishnoi to the state police in singer Sidhu Moosewala's murder case. He was later transported from Mansa to Mohali amid tight security. Bishnoi will now be interrogated by the Special Investigation Team formed by the Punjab Police, the Anti-Gangster Task Force and other agencies. In what can be called a miracle, an 11-year-old boy was successfully brought out of a 68 feet depth in a borewell after 104 hours in Pirhit village of Chhattisgarh's Janjgir Champa district. As per reports, around 500 personnel, including officials from the NDRF, the army, and local police, were involved in the rescue operation. Notably, NDRF's Commander-in-Chief Vardhaman Mishra suffered injuries during the operation. It is being said that there were snakes and frogs in the borewell. On being rescued, the boy, Rahul Sahu, was immediately rushed to the hospital.